friends, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a 24-hour reading vlog. I just wanted to break up, my typical videos I've been doing here lately with a reading vlog. I thought it would be fun. And so I'm gonna take you throughout my day, and because I'm a mom, I can't do 24 hours straight. I cannot stay awake all night, and I definitely can't read all day. I have kids and I have cleaning and cooking that I have to do. So I get as much as I can done while the baby's sleeping and my kids are at school, and usually at nighttime. So during the day, a lot of times I'll also listen to an audiobook as I get cleaning done or cooking. And so I'll show you what that looks like too. And so typically in my day, I will take my kids to school and I'll get home, I'll do breakfast, and I'll take care of my 1-year-old and just get them some things done, and then I will put her down for a nap, and then I'll have Bible time, and then I'll usually read a chapter in a Christian book. This is what I'm reading today, and the Gentle and Lowly book, I'm on chapter 6. And so I'll read a chapter in this, and then I'll get into my other reading, my other chores and stuff. I'm gonna be timing everything on my iPad because I have recorded with my phone, so I can't, time with my phone. So it's a little bit different than, most people's vlogs, but maybe one day I'll get a camera, we'll see. So I'm just gonna take you throughout my day and we'll get started. Here for a minute and say I'm on page 49 of Yours Truly. I did a vote on Instagram between Yours Truly, Happy Place, and the Love Theoretically book, and Yours Truly won, so that's the one I decided to read. I had all these on my library app, but I have to pause and say that so far, I know you might hate me, I have not liked any Abby Jimenez books. I tried The Friend Zone, DNF'd it. I didn't just try, I read all of Part of Your World, and it was just okay. And so now I'm reading Yours Truly because it's the sequel. And everybody loves Abby Jimenez, and I've struggled with her because I feel her writing is just a little bit unrealistic. There's always these meetings that are just off the wall, and the relationships is like insta love or like all about physical relationship, and so I don't like that. And so that's always been my beef with Abby Jimenez, is it's always about physical, and And it seems like they jump into that right away. And I hate that. I hate that in a book. I care about the relationship and the slow burn, and for it to be like authentic and just really sweet. And so far, I am liking this book so much better. Yay! Because she has so much more depth in this book. It's almost like a different author. Like, all the other books, I mean, I didn't get through Friendzone, so maybe it would have gotten better, but it started off all about physical, and I couldn't stand it, and I just had to quit reading it. And this one is about Jacob and Brianna, and I so far, like, Brianna in the first book, I really didn't care for, and now, in the second book, I really like her much better. She has more depth to her. She's going through a divorce, and Jacob has just moved to their hospital from his hospital because he broke up with his girlfriend and was having a really hard time with that because his girlfriend is now getting married to his brother, and he has a lot of anxiety issues. And it makes it so relatable because I also struggle with anxiety. And that is the reason I decided to go ahead and pick up another Abby Jimenez book, even though I swore I wasn't going to read any more of her. But so many people were talking about this book and how well she brought in like the stuff about anxiety and really just helped relate to other people. And because I've struggled with that, I was like, okay, I'm going to read this. I need to know what this is about. So far, I am pleasantly surprised. We'll see how it goes. I'll update you guys later. Okay, I am at 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I'm on 26%. I'm reading yours truly right now, and I am also switching to the Final Gambit on audio whenever I have to clean and do house stuff. And I just had to come on here to say that this is the cutest thing ever. Like, this quote. I am really liking this book so far, and I'm really happy because I just did not think this was going to happen with Abby's book. And I had to just share this cute thing that just happened. So, Jacob is watching this show that she likes just because he wanted to have something to talk about that she liked. And this quote is just so cute. I have to read it. "This was me making space for her, even though she would never know it. My way of saying thank you for her friendship, even if it was too quiet to hear." And I just thought that was such a beautiful quote and so sweet. And I love that so far in this book, Abby is adding so much more depth to her characters than she ever has before, in my opinion. And Jacob's like details of his anxiety, I feel like is so it's like so true to like how people deal with anxiety in just different forms. And I really appreciate her highlighting what it could be like, even using a guy, because I feel like, you know, normally people don't show like a guy having anxiety, but they do. And like when he's over analyzing what he's gonna say, or like all the thoughts that goes through his head every time he has to think about what to say, I feel like it's done so well. Like, so many people I can see relate to this, and I can see why this book is loved, especially by those who understand, because I feel she's done a really good job paying tribute to those who really struggle with social anxiety. So I am really impressed so far. I think I said it already, but I'm at 26%. And I'm at 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I know, you know, I'm not that far along because I got interrupted a lot. You know, I have a 1-year-old, so I had to take care of her. And, you know, I like listened to audiobook of another book in between. So we'll see how many I get done in 24 hours. It definitely won't be like straight 24 hours. It'll be split up a lot. But I am excited to see where this goes. And so far, I think that this book is headed in the right direction. Morning, friends. I ended at about 7.5 hours last night, and I got about 50% through Truly Yours, and I think like 30% through the Final Gambit. I went to bed around 10, so that's mom life. Drinking coffee, it's around 7, and I'm gonna start my timer. Hey guys, I wanted to do a little update. So I am at 11 hours right now, and I am 59%, chapter 57 in the Final Gambit. I decided to start reading on the Kindle instead of listening to audio because I'm not really loving the audio. I think it's been kind of ruining my experience with this book. The narrator is not that great, and I feel like it kind of ruins some of the scenes. So I switched over to reading on Kindle, and it has started to get really interesting. Basically, someone goes missing and a new character comes into play, and they're trying to find this person for most of the book and following more clues and working together. And so they're kind of closing in on some answers about why this person kidnapped this other person, and it's getting a little bit more interesting. I will say that so far I haven't been as invested in the second or third one as much as I was the first one. I think the first one for me just was a little more interesting. I will say that this one has a little more romance in this, but it's still not like with the person I was hoping it would be with. So I'm kind of bummed about that. I ended about 50% on Yours Truly last night, so I'll pick that up eventually today. And like I said, I'm about 60% in the Final Gambit, so I'm hoping to finish that here soon, and I will update you guys again. Okay, I'm at 13 hours, and I'm on chapter 80. I have 85% left of the Final Gambit, so I'm towards the end and it's getting crazy. So I'm going to record the last bit in case I have any reactions to catch. Okay, I just finished the Final Gambit. I'm at 14 hours and I really, really liked it. I at first was kind of worried because I wasn't enjoying it as much, and I think it was the audiobook. I just think that the audiobook isn't the greatest audiobook I've ever heard. I feel like it kind of messes with the other voices and kind of ruins the story for me. So I personally don't recommend it. I recommend just reading the book. But once I started just reading the book, I feel like it got a lot better. And it also really picked up the second half, so I think that was another reason. It really just threw in a bunch of like plot twists and things that I wasn't expecting. And I just love Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She writes such good young adult books. So I highly recommend trying them out. If you don't even like young adult, you should at least try Jennifer Lynn Barnes and also Holly Black, because their books are so entertaining and they do such amazing plot twists. And there was a lot more romance in this book. Still not, a heavily focused romance book, so I wouldn't go into it for that, but it was a lot more than the first and the second book. So I am going to rate it, I think, 4.25 stars, and I would just say I wouldn't give it 5 only because I do think there was some areas that were just not as interesting to me as the first one. The first one I think was just all new, and so that just was a 5-star for me because I just wasn't expecting anything, and I kind of feel like the second and third, it just kind of gets a little repetitive sometimes, and so that's why I would say like my rating kind of went down a little bit, but I would say 4.25 because the ending there were a lot of interesting plot twists and things that happened that really just picked it up more than the second book. So I'm gonna get into the Yours Truly book. Like I said, I'm at 50% and I'm at 14 hours, so we'll see what I can do. I have to get my kids soon, here in like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna read for like 10 minutes and then have to do dinner and all that stuff, so I'm not sure how much I'll get to read until later in the evening, but we'll see how far I can get. Okay, I just finished Yours Truly and I gave it 4 stars. I am so excited because I have not loved Abby Jimenez until now. I have been in the minority and I have not liked her books. I thought Part of Your World was just okay for me, and I didn't like The Friend Zone. I DNF'd it. I feel that she tends to do the insta-love type of thing, and it's just all about the physical stuff, and so I just haven't loved that. And this book totally was the opposite of that. It was beautiful. It was just written so well. It was the slow burn, it was passionate, it had depth, and the spotlight that she placed on anxiety was just so good. For someone who struggles with anxiety, I felt like just so seen. And if you are somebody who hasn't loved her books like me, I highly recommend to try Yours Truly. Now, it is the second book. Part of Your World is the first book, but if you didn't enjoy Part of Your World, still read Yours Truly because it's just so good. So 4 stars. I'm at 18.5 hours. And the next book I am starting is Riley Sager, the only one left. And my best friend Megan is going to be so excited because she loved this book. So we will see how it goes. It is, I think it's like 9 right now. We'll see how long I can stay awake. Yesterday it was only 10. I'm going to try to stay awake a little bit later and get closer to my goal, but I will see you guys soon. Morning, friends. So I just got back. I got some Starbucks, took my kids to school. Last night I ended around 10:30 at about 19 hours. So I'm going to read more of Riley Sager and start the timer. I found his book on Spotify. So if you haven't heard of Spotify, get Spotify Premium if you like audiobooks, because I love being able to just find like almost any book. The only downside is that you only get 15 hours a month. So I like to read and do audio every once in a while and just not listen to the whole book on audio to save up my time. But anyways, I will check back with you later on an update. I finally did it. I completed 24 hours. I did not finish The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I got halfway, but I finished 2 other books and I tallied how many pages I read, and it was 1,016 pages, which is pretty great for 24 hours. I obviously didn't do 24 hours straight, had lots of interruptions. I did audio whenever I had to get things done, but I mostly like to read physically. I actually can read faster than audio if I do it physically, but I had to use audio a lot since I had a lot of things I had to get done. But this was a fun challenge. It was hard. I'm not sure if I'll be doing it again because it was very time consuming, but it was fun to see how many pages I could read. So if you all enjoyed this video, just like it and subscribe and comment below if you have read any of these books, if you enjoyed them, and how many books you think you could read in 24 hours. And I can't wait to see you guys again. Bye.